Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Simon Clark.
And I'm Kirree. At the weekend, I went along to the Moran Royal Ploughing Match at Ballamilligan at the Strang.
And I went along to the Glen May Craft Fair to see what was on sale and what was on offer, and also find out a little bit of history about the chapel. Well, Kirree, we're back again. A short break, but things are going well. The last, just before we broke up this time, we had a chat with Peter Quayle about the prices at the mart, and fairly good. But some disappointing at a farm sale with the price of cows that didn't go too well. Everything else got good prices, but the cows didn't seem to.
That's right. It's a bit of a tricky time at the moment. The costs have certainly gone through the roof with travel, diesel, oil, fertiliser, and I think that's what the sticking point is at the minute. To get through to next spring, the prices have doubled or nearly tripled to buy fertiliser to put on the grassland around the island and in the UK. It's nearly £800 a tonne at the moment, which is astronomical. So people are keeping stock levels as is and not maybe investing as they might take a chance on other years in the fear that these costs are still going to rise in the springtime. So it's really knocked on a little bit to some of the ones looking to buy up new animals.
Yeah, can this be sort of bring people back where they might diverse a little bit into what they're doing with their land to maybe get a bit more crop rotation in?
Yeah, I think people are definitely looking at cheaper methods, using different types of seedlings, using more herb mixes which rely less on fertiliser, and just growing what they need, cultivating just what they need for their own stock rather than having an abundance of it. It's going to be very, very expensive to put the plough in and cultivate for a crop. Maybe if the seasons are like they are at the moment, you don't know if you're going to get a good harvest, so the risks are quite high. So people are hedging their bets and just sitting tight at the minute.
It is. Okay, well, you mentioned ploughing there, and there was a big ploughing event happening last weekend. That's
right. The Moran Royal Ploughing Match Society held their ploughing at Ballamilligan Farm in the Strang with kind permission from TriStar Farms up there, and it was a miserable rainy old day, but I popped along to see how it was going, and I caught up with Steady Alan Radcliffe as he was leaving the field.
Yeah, it's pretty miserable.
And how did you get on?
I've got some fencing to do this afternoon, so I've rushed the job a bit, and it's done anyway, so yeah, time for home.
But you're always come and support these events, Steady. That's one thing for sure. You know, whatever your days hold, you're always here getting a go.
Yeah, try to. There's I kind of knew with rushing it today I'd only really be making the numbers up, but at least there's another competitor anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And how's the season gone generally for you?
Yeah, it's gone okay, really. There's no complaints. So no.
And this is the Royal Plough Match, I believe.
So I'm told. No idea about that. So it doesn't look any different to any other to me. So.
Well, what do you do? What do you enjoy about the plough matches? You know, you've been doing it for a number of years now.
Yeah. Just a challenge of trying to get it right, really. That's all it is. So yeah.
Yeah. And what's the field like today? Good competition?
Yeah. There's some fellas doing a fair job there. There's it's a lot of stubble on and quite a lot of stones. So it's tough enough going, really.
So I suppose no two competitions are the same then, if that's the case?
No, every field is different, really. There's, And
we've been here a couple of years now, and going from year to year, does it still differ?
Yeah, it can do. There's depends on how wet or dry it's been. It's pretty damp in there, obviously, today, and pretty sticky and claggy. Yeah,
it's been a bit of a fair bit of rain this last few days. We've sort of had quite a good run, haven't we? But now I think she's settling in well, the rain now.
Yeah, winter's kind of turned up quick, really.
It really has. We've had a good run, haven't we?
Yeah.
I suppose on the north you would have been quite grateful of a bit of wet weather.
Not this much, no. There's everywhere's pretty wet now, I think. Yeah, so, yeah.
Anyway, I better let you get onto your fencing.
Okay,
thanks. Steady.
Right, bye.
Well, Chris, you're here with Raymond Gorn here. How's the day going?
Well, up to now it's been all right, I think. Depends what Ray's got to say about it, really.
You're under strict instructions to stop here?
Yes, the hand goes up, you stop. Do as you're told, otherwise the measuring stick goes round your ear hole.
He's some coach then.
He's brilliant. He really is. I wouldn't be ploughing half as well as I am, but for his instruction and his help.
Yeah, he's an old hand at it, but still as passionate as ever.
Oh yes, Island champion in the 60s. And he's never lost the touch, I don't think,
No, I think
Brilliant man.
Yeah, and like you're saying, he looks forward to the ploughing matches, getting out and helping you and the likes. And
Well, it's getting him to the match. And maybe he might not come now if he wasn't ploughing. I don't know, but I like to get him to the match, and he always enjoys the day.
This is it. And the outfit you got here, Chris?
It's a 1948 Ferguson TEA with a Perkins engine conversion, and the engine went in it in 1953, I think it was.
It just runs like a sewing machine, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant ploughing tractor. It's not behaving very well today. The hydraulics are not quite right today, but I don't know whether it's the weather or what it is.
It must be the weather. My golly,
Could be
just
the
some
driver,
showers.
Could be the driver. Probably is.
I wonder what he's thinking out there now. He's busy looking down that line.
It wouldn't do. It wouldn't do to think.
Oh gosh. So what do you got left here now to do?
We just got the finish. Just got the clash to do now. Starting on that now on this run.
And how do you think you fared up?
I don't know really. Job to know. Ploughing is all right. I'm happy with the ploughing. And the boss there is happy with the ploughing, so it can't be too bad.
Can't be too bad. And we just get ready for the party there next week for the results.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I don't think I'll figure very prominently in that,
Right. Well, I'm sure there will be a few siders enjoyed at least.
Well, we'll try.
We'll try. Anyway, good luck, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Well, Raymond, how is he getting on here now?
I think he's doing quite well, actually.
It's looking good.
I think he's having one of his better days.
Despite the weather.
Right for weather.
My goodness.
Yes.
And does it vary much between the farms?
Yes. Oh, the soil is different altogether in some fields, like.
And we've been coming here a good few years now, and Steady Al was saying there it changes between year and year.
It seems to.
You'd wonder how, wouldn't you?
There's little things like the ins and outs that people don't worry about now.
I see, yeah.
And when I started, if there was that much there and left, you would be ducked down points for it, like,
I see,
everything
right.
had to be nice and tidy on the end, you see.
Yeah.
But
A bit more presentation, and I suppose there'll be a lot more competitors then too.
oh yes.
Yeah.
When I started ploughing, well, no, not when I started, but after I'd been ploughing a while, I went ploughing in the Manx style, and I think the first match I was in, there was 9 ploughing.
Goodness, wow, that's a tough class.
So that was the first,
And how did you get on?
I can't remember how I got on the first one, but I did win one or two. Like.
Good, yeah. And what do you make of the new modern tractor?
I don't like all these buttons. Too technical for me, like,
Well, you see the bits of farm sales we just had lately. It's them older tractors are still holding their value, aren't they?
Yes.
And maybe for that reason, where getting in a mechanic, a fella that's used to these, is an awful lot of money, isn't he? But
yes.
whereas an old boy can have a go with a set of spanners and get it sorted out again.
It used to be you could just get it sorted out yourself, really, like.
Yeah.
And these ones were going, like, you could do anything with them, like.
Yeah. And what kind of ploughs you got here now?
It's a Fergie,
Full outfit.
Massey Ferguson.
Yeah.
It's actually the one I used to take away with me.
Wow, I bet that could tell a story or two. Be some acres turned over with that one.
No, it's not the acres that could tell the story.
Well, we'll leave that there. And that was Ray Gaughan and Chris Clegg, competitors on the day. And just before that, Alan Radcliffe before he left the field.
Yeah, soggy all day, but the tractors seemed to get through. They've been a bit skiddy on the top, was it?
Oh my, it was a bit wet underfoot, but it didn't deter the men. They came, and our old ladies, and Nicola there as well with the horses, and they had a great day out. And I asked Ray Gaughan how does he keep coming back year on year, and they just say it's in them. It's the love for it, and it was a terrible rainy day, but it didn't put them off.
No, and we'll be hearing from Nicola and some of the committee members from the Moran Ploughing match later on in today's programme. But Glenmay Chapel was the scene of the craft fair, and I went along for the first time, I might say, in that chapel to find out what was on sale there and find out a little bit of history about the Glenmay Chapel. I spoke to Debbie Craker, one of the organisers of the event, but first of all, Pat Costain. I put it to her, it seems a busy old time at the craft fair.
It is indeed, yes. It's usually busy. The craft fair is every month, and first Saturday in the month, and the ladies and the gentlemen are all busy with stalls and with food, hot soup and bacon baps go down a treat.
Now, I suppose the C word is getting mentioned with shopping and things ahead of the Christmas rush. Does that make it more busy at these sort of events for you?
That's right, yes. Usually November and December are the busiest months because of Christmas, and there's lots of Christmas ideas for presents and cards and different items, really, so it's good.
Yeah. Now, this building, I must say it's the first time I've been in the Glenmay Methodist Chapel and Community Hall, is it?
Community Centre, yes.
Yeah. Now, it looks pretty modern and nice inside here. Has it been done up in recent times?
Yeah, in 2012 we had it renovated. It was gutted, really, down to the brickwork and redone. And we're really pleased with it because we took the pews out and made the space so that other organisations can use it during the week, and then we use it on Sunday for worship, and we found it really good for the community. So they've got a community hall because we've got no other community no other community building.
No shop now, have you?
No shop, no post office, no pub. So it's the only building in the village, and we like to think that the community can use it.
Well, Debbie Craker, you seem to be in charge of organising the craft fair today. It's proved busy.
It is. It's very popular now. We started about 6 years ago with just 2 or 3 tables and coming in once a month. And gradually over the years it's built up, and I now have a waiting list of people that want to come and have a table here.
Really, it's incredible because the people that are sitting down here, a lot of them make their own stuff.
Yes, most people make their own stuff. We have a lot of handmade things, but we're not exclusive for handmade items. You can come if you're selling fair trade scarves and things like that.
Debbie Craker, and before that, Pat Costain from the Glenmay Craft Fair. And of course, some of them, the stall holders go round from event to event, and there really was some brilliant gifts there that are a little bit different ahead of the sea holidays that are coming up and presents needing to be buy, because you go to the big shops and it's the same old stuff, isn't it? But these loads of handmade stuff, it's beautiful, Kirree, isn't it?
It really is. This last 10 years, the handicrafts on this island have just gone through the roof. The designs, the colour, the Manx themes all coming back into play and modernising it and making it quirky and cheerful. And at these crafts fair, they're absolutely fantastic. The wares, the time and effort gone into producing this stuff for all of us to buy. And if you've got family or friends further afield, what better present to send off to them?
It reminds them of home, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Certainly. And of course now I think more are doing it because they know which way the 3 legs is meant to go now. You're listening to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kirree Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. Well, Kirree, let's get back to the Moran Ploughing match.
I caught up with Lenny Kirree, the president of the Moran Ploughing Society. A wealth of knowledge and a little bit of history is always good on the day too. So I caught up with Lenny Kirree and Secretary Nicola Rawnsley. Well, Lenny, here we are at Ballymilligan, courtesy of the TriStar gang. How's it going today?
Well, the boys are getting on with it, even though it's raining heavy. It's nice to see there's 11 tractors here, I think, and a pair of horses. And they're all getting on well now. They're coming in towards the finish. The ground, of course, is stubble ground, it doesn't plough up so good. There's one Manx-style fella here doing his best, Ronnie Fairbairn, who's keeping the Manx-style class going.
He's been at that a number of years now, hasn't he, Lenny?
Ronnie has been ploughing since 1946, I think. I think Ronnie ploughed his first match in 1946 with horses, and then he went on to tractors, and he's come up through. He's been with lots of different fellas through his lifetime. The late Cecil Corlett was with Ronnie, and James Martin, late James Martin. Ronnie has been with them, and Ronnie, he's a man that can set a plough up and he can see what the ploughing is like. He's an excellent man.
And I suppose he'll be able to pass on a bit of that knowledge. There's a few young fellas running around here.
He's won the Manx Championship with at least 3 different ploughers on the tractor. So, I mean, it just proves he knows what he's talking about. Yeah. And he's having a good go himself. He's 90 years old now, and he's having a go himself because Billy Commode, of course, had a bad stroke. And Billy is not able to come. Billy is his latest protege kind of thing, like you say. So he couldn't get nobody else to come today, so he's doing it himself.
Well, nothing's putting him off.
Nothing's putting him off. It's the love of ploughing and a good bit of workmanship. And there's nothing nicer, really, than to see a nice bit of Manx-style ploughing.
Yeah, that's it. It's an age-old skill, isn't it? It's age-old, but I said to Steady Al, what keeps you coming? And he says, it's something in you. He wants to come again.
That's right. Oh, yes, it's nice to know that you can get on a tractor and do a good job of ploughing. Because ploughing is basically the start of the cultivation. And my old boss, Johnny Clearland, Billy Clearland's father, he said to me one time, if it's not ploughed right, it's twice as hard to get it cultivated. Yep. He says, if you take time and plough it properly, it's half the work to cultivate it.
And the price of seed now, corn or grass, my golly.
I don't know. You'll know more about that than me.
You need that good seed bed, don't you? And
you've got to have the good seed bed to get the grain or any crop to grow, turnips or anything like. You've got to have the tilth on the ground to get it to grow.
And we're looking at the ploughing here. It's not overly deep, is it?
Well, the majority of them are 6 inches. They plough 10 by 6, or the bigger tractors, of course, are taking bigger furrows. But they're about 8 inches, I think, the big tractors that come with.
And as a rule, that's all you'd need to go. You wouldn't need to go much more than that.
No. 6 inches is usually the rule. Yeah. The old Manx-style classes was always 10 by 6. Yeah. But now, like, they're ploughing 13-inch furrows and 14-inch furrows. You've got to have the wide furrow for to have the tractor wheels to get in them.
Well, this is it. Some of the sizes of these tractors.
It's amazing now. I keep thinking back, how on earth did the farmers in the 40s and 50s, little Fergie tractors, but they got the work all done.
All done. That's it. Yep.
Little tiny tractors, like you see, you look at there's one here now today ploughing, and you look at that and you think, how on earth did the farmers get work done?
And then you look at Nicola and the horses there, before that again.
Yes, before that again, like you see, was all the horses, and they got it done. Yeah. They got it done.
Hard men then, though, Lenny?
Well, I don't know whether they were hard men or not, but they were certainly good workers, and they weren't afraid of work. And I remember my father, he was cowman at Langigan. But if there was a cow near calving, he'd be going up, and my mother would say to him, well, the boss is up there, the boss is up. No matter, he had to go up to see the cow was all right.
Yeah, true stockman.
Well, this was it, like you see, they thought as much of the stock as what the bosses did.
Well, Nicola, the Marown Royal Plough match, and what a day it has been.
Sorry, horse, just trying to bite me there, yeah. Very blustery showers. My horse has misbehaved a bit because he doesn't want to be in the rain, but yeah, it's going okay.
It's just absolutely magnificent to see them going up and back and just taking it all in their stride.
Yeah, they do. Duke's an old hand now, he's nearly 20. Elle is, I think she's 13 now, so she's a really good horse. She's very quiet.
Yeah. And are they best friends?
Not overly.
Oh, golly.
Duke's in charge at home.
Yeah.
So they all have to do what he says.
I see. But she's absolutely stunning, isn't she, with the blonde mane and tail there?
Yeah, she's a French breed. She's a Comtois, second popular breed in France. There's not many of them in the UK, and I think there's only 2 on the Isle of Man.
Wow.
And we own both of them. So.
Oh, lovely. And Duke, what breed is he?
Duke's Clydesdale Cross Cob.
So the strength will be there,
Yes.
certainly for this job.
Yeah, and he's got a cheeky pony personality as well.
So how's your day been yourself then, David, ploughing away?
Yeah, we've been a long day. We've been here since 7. We've been preparing programmes and paperwork and etc. all week. But yeah, I think we'll be tired when we get home.
That's it. And like you're saying, with being committee members, it's great to see a good turnout and everybody that supports it.
Yeah, I could do with a few more numbers here, but I can understand with the weather you don't want to be stood in a field today. But yeah, we could do with more competitors for the horses and the Manx style, especially. There's only really one team of each now.
Well, if any of our listeners out there want to have a go, it wouldn't be hard to get in touch and have a
No,
have a
not at
try.
all. Please do get in touch. Come to one of the matches, manx.net on Facebook. We've got our own Facebook page, Moran Royal Ploughing Society, so they can look on there as well and get in touch.
And there's been lots of support with Conister Bank and all the advertisers in the lovely programme you've done.
Yes, there has been. They're very good to support us. Conister especially, they support us every year. Manx Petroleum do as well. And we've got our little sponsors as well, all in the programme. So we've got a nice catering van here as well. Andy Kissack's always good to support us and bring his van along. So.
Yes, and we all need a nice bit of hot food on a day like today, don't we? But well, I better let you get back to it. David's here now, he's all measured up.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, it's spot on. Oh, that's what we like to hear.
Excellent. Anyway, I'll let you get back on.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Nicola. That was the president, Lenny Kirree, and the secretary of the Moran Royal Ploughing match, Nicola Rawnsley.
Sound like they enjoyed themselves despite the weather, and Nicola and her husband, they've been real supporters of that event with the horses, because they're tricky, because probably the weather will affect them a little bit like humans, won't it?
It certainly did. As you heard there, Nicola was saying that Duke, the older horse there, he was putting his head down and wanting to do his own thing at times, but a lovely pair of horses, and they're not always best of friends, she was saying, but on the day, what a lovely sight to see them going up and back and just turning the turf as if they were a tractor and normal plough. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a great sight to watch. If anyone hasn't been to one of the ploughing matches, get yourself down there. Just go down there for an hour and see the intricate details that's involved in the buys and the clashes, the openings and the closing of the event, and the particular meticulous attention that they pay to it to get it right, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. We caught up with Ray Gore just as he was measuring out for Chris to go down back across the field, just with an old piece of stick with a few marks on it. And yep, he's dead on line, and away he went again. Just, absolutely brilliant.
It is indeed. Anyway, an event coming up.
Yes, indeed. The Chrysanthemum and Produce Show, the 2-day show is happening there in Castletown on the Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of November at the Morton Hall, 2 until 4. And on the Sunday at 3:30 will be the awards and the prize presentation, but also the sale of the produce. I think that's one not to be missed. Those homemade jams and cakes is always, always brilliant. So that's the 13th and 14th of November, the Chrysanthemum Show and Produce there at Morton Hall in Castletown.
Notice I left you to say about the flowers. If you've got anything for Countryside, please send an email to ourselves, countryside@manxradio.com, or you can leave a message for Kirree Kermode or Simon Clark here at Manx Radio, and we'll get back to you if you've got something to feature on the programme. But we'll leave it there for this week. We're back next week with more. So until then, from me, Simon Clark.
And me, Kirree Kermode.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.